Hello and welcome everybody, I am your humble host Gavin the Kitty, and today we are playing Mega Man Zero 2, and I've brought a co-host with me today.
Hey guys.
It's it's Casey.
Back again with another cough.
We're just gonna jump right into the game. I already showed off the collection last time. We're once again going in and the best way to play it. We're still gonna have casual scenario mode and the save assist turned on, because that seemed to help us out with getting through the game a little quicker last time. And these games do get quite lengthy when they want to be. Hello Sylveon, hello Zeke. Casey, if you want to read out chat, that would be fantastic.
We got Sylveon saying this isn't fun anymore, chat. Why?
You will
Zeke saying,
find out in 30 seconds. Roughly. They're doing a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge, nod.
I see. Zeke says heyo.
Hello.
And Sylveon Chan asks, if somebody makes their own luck and they get unlucky, is that a skill issue?
I don't know. I don't know, and I don't really have the means to ask that question, because I don't know.
My brain hurting.
Anyways, how's everybody in chat doing? And don't say that it's no fun anymore, because yeah.
Look! It's based.exe.
I wish the doors would be shut all the way. I keep finding flies.
You too?
Yeah, because the doors aren't getting shut all the way. Alright, so let's get into what's up here. There's an endless slew of Pantheons, and you can sit and just destroy them before they even come on the screen. Just barely behind the health bar there. So while I'm doing this little Easter egg... There you go. Now do you get it, Casey?
This isn't fun anymore. Oh.
So, this picks up right where the Zero-1 left off. Zero's in the desert. He is badly damaged. Keep that and... Custom, yeah. Main jump. There we go. Ah! Buttons. Anyways. The menu system is even a slightly even more damaged version of the one from last game. We're locked out of all sorts of stuff, Zero's weapons are busted, and even the artwork up there is from the last game. So, Case, how's your day going today?
It's doing pretty good. I'm packing my stuff, cleaning up my room a bit.
Cool. Cool. You want to tell them where you're gonna be for a little while?
I'm gonna be going to North Carolina, and I'm gonna be gone from streams for a bit too, actually.
Like a week or so, give or take.
Technically, 2 weekends. 2 weekends in terms of streams being gone, but like, yeah, for a week.
A week.
No.
Well, the main reason is because you're out there visiting family. Not
Yep.
so much a vacation or anything, but...
I wish it could be just vacation.
No.
Yep. I gotta go out and defend Able City, so...
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
I find it funny he doesn't believe that's the city I'm going to.
Because I'm smarter than that, Casey.
Okay.
Anyways, we are rank
Hey.
X, by the way. F, by the way. This game starts you out with a terrible rank, and... yeah.
There's no way to improve it?
Not in this first stage, at least. This first stage kind of sets the scene for what level you'll be set at for a good majority of the game. Because we are using the casual mode plus save assist, we should be getting some pretty good ranks here, which should help out with some of the mechanics later on. And first up is this guy right here. Looks like we got some answers to my question in chat.
Sylveon Chance is terrible, and Zeke says they're chilling.
Gotcha. I'm just kind of vibing today. I overslept by a lot, so I feel like I kind of needed it though.
Yes.
I did have a nightmare here recently, but none of that is beyond it. And with that, I got really, really close.
That is not bad. You still got something good.
I got S rank right there. That doesn't normally happen.
Clap it up in the chat. Stream started 8 minutes ago. Wow. That's what their notif said about you.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it started... I slept in a lot today. I think feeling woozy has been part of that, but I'm doing a little better today. I'm not as fainty. I see him. Like, I'm a little, like, wobbly, but I'm not, like... It's not like I'm gonna pass out, which is nice. Anyways. But hi, Emerson, how you doing? We're gonna get to El Piso up here, and all that jazz, but...
El Piantissimo.
No. Nah. El Piso here is, bit of a guy. So, the base last time got taken over by the Pantheon. So, they needed a new base. This will be the new base going forward. El Piso applied funding, he allowed for funding, and, the base itself, and soldiers, and all that jazz, and even new weaponry and armor. He's really beefed up the resistance, but, just to go along with that, he also doesn't seem to be acting in the best interest of CL or the people at all. He does not seem as interested in that as just waging a war. So, we'll get to more about his deal in a bit. But,
Sylveon Chan says El Pizza, the femboy.
Yeah. No. El Piso is kind of a jerk. Ah, and here's Cobalt.
El Pizza, the garlic knot. Marcin says they're okay.
That's good. We got 6 people watching, but I'd like for you guys to all drop a like if you could, because it helps us out with the algorithm. Helps me be able to put more videos out, more streams. So, Zero's finally getting that well-deserved diagnostic test. Harpooia didn't kill Zero and just brought him back to base, almost like he's trying to defect over to the resistance side without letting it be known. Huh. You might be wondering why I'm a darker shade of red than last time, and I'll get to that in a little bit. First thing you might notice is just how much better the portraits look in this game. They really did step up their game from last time with the portraits. They look a lot cleaner, they look a lot more finished. I'm still not a fan of the black background. I think transparency would have looked a little nicer, but hey, to each their own. So, I haven't gotten around to Zero's moveset. What a better time than to message it now. We've got the Buster, which is just as powerful as last time. We got the Saber, you got the same Z-Slash, we have the same boost, we've even got the I don't believe we've got the spin slash. The spin slash, I believe, is an EX move. Our menu has changed as well. Which...
Oh, wait, did you show... You didn't get to show them the broken menu,
Yeah, I did.
you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Okay.
I'm just kind of moving kind of quick. So,
okay, that's fair. Sorry.
here's where you have your cyber elves. In between there's where the element's gonna be. But this is what changes the color. We have forms in this game. Forms are acquired by doing special things in the levels, specifically getting like S rank, A rank. EX skills are going to be given that way, same way too. You can think of the EX skills kind of as a special weapon of sort for getting the bosses, because we have 8 of them in total. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, 10 of them in total. We've also got 10 forms. We're going to be sticking to the ultimate form just because it is the best in the game. The way that you unlock it originally is, I believe you beat the game 100%, and then you can start a new game plus with that ultimate form. I could go check out my my stuff, but yeah, we've also got all the cyber elves except for the broken one from last game. So, with all that going into it, let's just move straight through here. Zero's still got a little bit of his amnesia, but, you know, him and extra friends and whatnot. This is El Piso. What a jerk. Anyways.
He's a big meanie.
He wants to hire us on for war. Kind of like CL did in last game, but a little worse way to introduce yourself, dude. You're like, I want you to fight. Here's a handshake on it. Zero's like, it's not that easy. El Piso even gives that a little laugh there. He really is kind of a jerk. It's amazing CL let him be the leader for the resistance, while she researches the new energy source.
I mean, then again, it plot.
Yeah, we're gonna get a lot of plot today.
Sylvan Chan says the game wouldn't have happened if Harpuya killed himself in the prologue.
Yep. That is true. If Harpuya would have taken out Zero right then and there, this game would probably not have happened in the same way. El Piso probably still would have attacked the base and destroyed X's original body. But we'll get to all that in a little bit. If chat has any questions about this game, feel free to ask away. It is a shame that we don't have flashing blades on today, because they seem to really like Zero too.
You say that, and then flashing blades will appear.
Of course, that's what I'm counting on. So, along with CL, I believe it was Cobalt, has tried to fix our weaponry. We got the chain rod instead of the spear. And we got the boomerang back. So, these weapons are going to be kind of sort of necessary. So the shield acts just like it did before. We can shoot the shield, we can, you can also, I believe you can jump around it just like you can. Yep, you can. And then the other weapon we have is the chain. So instead of a rod, this time we have the chain, which allows us to swing from ledges, grapple at an angle. Oh, I didn't get to show off the block. And we also can push and pull things around with it. Stand on one side, pull it towards you. You can also charge it up to get the spinning rod from last game. So we're kind of going to be sticking to the Buster, but sabers will come out eventually. LP's just called a meeting, and of course Zero's just back in time. And he's trying to convince them that striking on Neo Arcadia now is going to be the best opportunity. However, Zero doesn't really believe that, but wants to help CL. So, decides... Yeah, Zero's even like, they're not a sitting duck. They're not sitting and waiting for us to attack. They're waiting for you to attack so they can ambush you. So, that's kind of how the gameplay goes here. If you want to catch up with chat real fast, Casey.
Got you covered.
Well, I start the first stage of the game.
Marcin posted a transparent emoji. Also, Sylveon, please don't say things like that in chat.
They're trying to make a meme of it, of your emoji, Marcin. Don't worry about it. Alright, so we're gonna just jump right into the train mission for the game. This game's a little closer to the other one. So all we have to do is stop them from getting the supplies. So, just like last game, Neo Arcadia is getting in supplies for their Pseudoroids, and we're like, yeah, no, we're gonna go stop that. The Pseudoroids and the Pantheons. And here's another song that is just really, really good and needs more remixes. Down there is where one of the Cyber Elves would have been. This stage has a really cool gimmick. I love this gimmick. Oh, I missed. So all you gotta do is jump over the top, or you can fall into the train. To avoid that overhead. So, Casey, what have you heard about the Zero games, other than what you've heard from me?
I haven't. I haven't heard anything aside from what you've told me already.
Well, what do you think so far, seeing it in action?
I think it's a really cool series. This one's more heavier on a bunch of more topics, and aside from that, gameplay as well, if I'm correct.
Yeah. All right. Here's where the mission portion comes in.
Because if I remember correctly, you said a lot of speedrunners love this game.
They do. There is a set timer at the end of the game that's not super accurate, but they don't use it. But speedrunners love this game because you're rewarded for going fast. Playing the stage well, not getting hit, destroying enemies, they all add to your rank. So, I'm just gonna keep using the saber here, and alright, no boxes were taken. Now, if only I can keep on to the health I have left here. Alright, boss time. Perspective changes here, and now we see the front of the train. We see another one has caught up to us. A mission of the Resistance Force. I shall stop you. And, the Panther here likes to stop us. You guys last time were asking, which one of the Pseudoroids I find kinda spicy. I think I'd give it to the Panther.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, I wouldn't really want to get close to any of the Pseudoroids in this game, though. Honestly, they all are mean, lean killing machines, and fairly competent at it, too. Alright, switch to the saber. You are penalized for using a sub-tank, although they are there if you need help through a stage. Normally, you'd get them by finding the Cyber Elves, and you'd find 2 of them in the levels, and then 2 of them from the Cyber Elves. So,
Yo, that's a crazy death.
Yeah, the death animation changes based on whether you kill them with a saber or the buster.
That's pretty cool.
We got A. So we got the Thunder Chip for that. We also got an EX skill. Claw, Spark Shot. I'm going to try to keep my rank up, but there's no guarantee. This game is really, really difficult. Also, I'm sorry again, chat, for starting so late today. I really can't be excused. I promised you guys a stream, and I started way later than I wanted to. But hey, we're here now. So, we can also explore the base here, and we can find pretty much everybody from the last game, plus a couple of new faces. But this is going to be our base going into 03 as well. Get these large cannons on the outside. I actually really like how they handle this. This is something that's really interesting. So the minute you go down, it loads in a completely different palette and it never unloads this. It just unloads the layer over top.
Huh.
So you can go inside the cannons. The cannons are always hollow, which is really interesting. As you can see, we have all the guys from last game here. Just kind of roaming around. Yep, here's Alouette with a I think she has a slightly updated sprite. She still looks absolutely adorable for the game. Out here's the mountainside. Here's the new face who will be sticking around throughout the rest of these games. And I believe Andrew is on the floor below. So, we'll have lots of stuff to talk about. If you could catch up on chat, Casey, that'd be fantastic.
I have a paragraph and a half to read.
Oh boy.
Because Sylveon-chan, I don't know what they're talking about, but I'll say. Pseudodroids are a ZX thing. The first known pseudodroids were created by a serpent.
Well, one, it's pronounced pseudoroid.
Oh, my
bad.
bad.
And two, I'm kind of sort of going to be calling these guys pseudoroids regardless. They're Mavericks, they're Reploids, they're pseudoroids.
No, they spelled it right. I have dyslexia, remember?
No, you're good. I'm just saying, in general, I'm going to be calling them whatever. Because, to be honest, the difference between these guys and the difference going into the pseudoroids is pseudoroids were started in 03. They were Reploids that could disguise themselves. These guys are all next generation Reploids for how far along we are, so does it really matter if I call them pseudoroids or not?
I guess not.
I figure it doesn't really matter so long as I'm stopping them. I mean, they're Mavericks, yes, they're Reploids, yeah, but so are pseudoroids, so shrug. I just don't find a distinction. The distinction between the different types of robots this far in is kind of negligible, because the more deeper conversation is the difference between Reploid and human. Because at this point in the game, there really is very little to no difference between a Reploid and a human. So our mission here is to destroy the reactor. We got a bit of a maze to go through.
Sylveon-chan asks, is this stage a reference?
This stage is a bit of a reference, actually. This is technically, I believe it's either a power plant or Thank you for scaring me, Casey.
My phone fell. I'm sorry.
So, the main two things that this can be a reference to is either a power plant, because it's a thermal power plant, or Heatman's level, with the thermal scrapyard. Well, thermal scrapyard.
That and tellies.
Well, yes, these are tellies, but the main thing is that there's just basically more. Since they're scrapping Reploids to fund this little war they're doing, and to keep the lights on, it's a little tough for me to be like, yes. It's a reference, because they're both technically true.
KE949 says hi.
Hi, welcome.
Sylvian Chan says, hope Bile, Colonel, Zane, and Agile won't show up randomly.
Because they won't.
What lies are you spreading within the chat?
Just because there's characters that are like them does not mean they act anything like them. So
like I can do an impression of someone, but it won't be one-to-one.
Yeah. Sorry to say, but 04's what's his name is nothing like Colonel in terms of motive. Yeah, he's a bit stoic and kind of a stuck-up jerk, but that doesn't make him Colonel. And as for Iris, I mean, no, she's long since been destroyed and forgotten. Heck, even Zero has forgotten her, with the loss of his memory. And what was the other one, Vile? Dr. Weil is nothing like Vile.
Yeah, Zane and Agile as well.
Zane and Agile. I don't know. I mean, there's guys that kind of fight like him, but it doesn't, they're not the same. I don't know. Just comparing it just seems a little goofy. So the way you avoid that is actually dropping underneath the ladder, just like letting go. I'm tending not to do that just because I don't mind taking the hit to keep it moving.
Yeah, continuing on the chat, K49, jeez, says, I'm not very good at Mega Man.
That's fine. That's why there's a whole bunch of casual stuff in this game. Right now we're using the casual assist mode, casual mode and save assist mode together to play through this game here. So if you're like, oh, I'm really bad at Mega Man, I don't think I can play these really hard titles, do not worry, Capcom's got your back. They give you ways to play these games, even if your skill level isn't up to par. So the boss room for this fight will appear at the last one of these that you destroy. You don't want too many lava puddles. That first one we entered was probably the best one to go for last. But shouldn't be. I should be getting, I don't know. We should be pretty good. Like, this one's not too bad, because there's some gaps in between. Because the boss is going to make lava spire up there, so. Alright, we went around.
Sylvian Chan says Kraft is an idiot.
Well, then why compare him to Colonel? Because Colonel had some wit about him.
Colonel actually knew what he was doing.
So, we're going to turn on the spark shot. And yes, this is the same exact weapon as the Mega Man 3 weapon, believe it or not. It's got the stunning effect and everything, it's just a bit more powerful to fit the needs, which is hilarious to me.
Oh, that's really neat. I like the little lens flare.
Mm-hmm. That happens in the boss fight too, if I remember correctly.
Whoever thought of that on the development team is a genius.
Well, there you go. I know everybody likes to reference that right there, but I know a lot of people like to compare the characters between the Zero series to the X series, claiming they're the same people, and I have seen a theory before. So, if you're wondering about that, yeah, I did forget completely. That the boss could do that. Because I normally never get caught. And I'm getting caught twice today.
So in terms of I never compared them, you did?
I know I did. But you also didn't clarify that much.
Fair.
Because Sylveon, you literally throughout this entire Mega Man marathon, a lot of what you do is act like a pessimist, and it drives me up the fucking wall. So as you can see, the boss has a lot of annoying patterns that I can't really dodge. The higher your rank is, the harder the game is. So...
Did he just combo you?
yes.
We got somebody new in chat saying hello. They go by the name of Kitty Drive.
Hello, Kitty Drive. Welcome, welcome. Oh, Marcin, I have no way to help you, bud, but if you want to try to refresh the page or fix the router, that could work. Somebody in chat might be able to help you.
Refresh your browser. That's my... That's all I can...
Clear the cache. I don't know. That can be a problem on older devices.
Yes, burn your money.
No, 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 no.
What? You said clear the cache.
That's... Casey. The internet cache, the data.
Kitty Drive says they've been too busy the past few weeks.
Ah, well, I've been rather busy myself. Between streaming and working, getting some commission work done, and then also making a fursuit, and yeah, I'm tired. You know, I went to bed at a kind of reasonable hour, but then I woke up with a nightmare, and I spent my morning basically sleeping.
I spent mine being fucky.
Yeah. Well. Ah. I don't like that attack very much.
The one where it grabs you.
Mm-hmm.
Am I desynced again? I am desynced again.
The one where he bonks me across. This fight is just, all in all, annoying to do. I've seen no-hit runs. They don't even like this boss, so... this boss does fight, appear again later, I think in 03 or 04, but neither here nor there.
You killed him!
And I still got A rank, surprising enough.
Skylar says, hello, Casey. Hello, how are you doing?
Hi, Hi, Skylar, how you doing?
You almost like Casey.
Yeah. Hi, Casey, as well.
Hello.
Sylveon says he reappears in 04. Skylar says this is good. That's good. Alright, we got the next EX skill. I'm still surprised that we got even A rank for that, especially because I died. Save assist helps with the ranking, I know that much. Alright. But now with the flame chip, we can actually take out the forest level, which is actually one of the harder stages, but also one of the easier stages if you can get past a certain thing. It's weird. So what you have to do for this mission is search around for wounded warriors and get them back to base. They do appear in your base once it's all over. Now, unlike 0-1, which I compared to a Metroidvania, this is much more similar to a standard Mega Man affair. Alright. Now the timer begins. Alright, so we want to switch to the flame chip here. We're also... And what we want to do is burn the forest down. We're going to follow Proto Man's advice from Mega Man 7 and burn the forest. But, no, seriously, the fire will actually help us out here in the stage. Up top here is a Cyber Elf, if you go back to the left there. And here's the part where you actually have to play well. So, this is the hardest part of the stage. Don't mess it up. All you have to do is swing across with the chain rod. It's not as hard as it seems. Trust me. So Casey, what you think so far? Is this game intriguing you?
Yeah, it is. It is. It looks really good, by the way. The palettes and everything just look beautiful.
Yeah, I mentioned last time that this plays by it uses the DS game. They did a little bit of color correction for this collection. But I've also heard quite a number of people not really prefer the color correction they've done here. But if that's also the case, I also don't understand how the washed out palette is any better. I just know a few people online have criticized this collection for the palettes used in the games, and I'm like, what?
Why?
It's like the games were washed out on a Game Boy Advance screen. They're early enough to where they didn't have the backlight until 03, and even that had some weirdness. Like, I don't get it. I think that's a majority of my thing. I don't get it. So we can use the chain to move these blocks. So, all we gotta do is talk to him to get him out of there.
I mean, to be fair, then again, the majority of the community complains about everything.
Well, majority of the community is... I compare the Sonic fan base to the Mega Man community a lot, because a lot of it is the same problem being listed over and over again, and I don't know. I don't see it I don't see all of this stuff as a problem. Alright. Up here. Well, that wasn't what I wanted to do. That's for sure.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Completely desynced.
Gutsman called, or no, Dustman called. He wants his gimmick back.
This is the third time we've said this, Joe.
It is! And it won't be the last. I don't believe so. If I remember correctly, there's one in the trash compactor level in ZX as well, so.
I can't wait for you to go to a junkyard and say the same thing.
I know, right? It's alright. We just saved all the Reploids. That should get us a pretty good rank, but we did take quite a number of hits, so. Who knows?
That's fair.
Our guy here has managed to find one of the baby elves. The baby elves are essentially extremely powerful cyber elves that helped with eliminating the Maverick threat. Oh, the snake here is tough, but not too tough. I actually find this fight to be rather enjoyable.
At least he's not as bad as Flame What's-His-Face.
Flame Hyanard?
Yeah.
Or Burn Rooster?
I don't know, the boss we were fighting earlier.
Oh, the Phoenix. We'll just use up and slash and...
What are you talking about, Gavin? He's not an attorney.
Oh. Oh. That's a good one. I'm still a bit out of it.
No, I can tell.
I have not woken up yet.
And you're playing this? For shame. Get some coffee in your system.
I know, right? X has returned! Slightly glitchier than last time. What's your point, X? We'll do anything to reunite with their mothers. Stir the humans' minds and bring chaos. It's all to meet their mother, the Dark Elf. The Dark Elf that I sealed. And X flies away! God damn it, X. That explained nothing!
Then again, X is a baby boobop.
Flip the roles this time.
That's fair, yeah, I see what you mean.
Time for our final of the starting missions. This one has some really good music. Hello, Foxino, welcome.
Which stage is this?
The song is gonna be called Ice Brain.
Oh, this is that one you showed me that one time.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I'm gonna put that on my other thing. Obviously, I'm gonna have it turned down, but...
It does look like there's quite a number of messages to catch up on.
Yep.
But before you do, I do want to talk about the ice physics in this game, since it's the first time we're encountering them. So, ice physics in this game are work with the dashing momentum. So, if you are on an... I'll show this off in a second. But essentially, if you're coming from a normal, like, solid ground, don't stop moving. The minute you stop moving... Well, let me change my form here. The minute you stop moving on the ice is the minute problems arise. You can see it there, how I dash jump, but I didn't have the momentum of a dash jump. And that's the ice. It eats the momentum of the dash. So, if you're expecting to be able to dash all over the place, good luck! But our main goal here is just to destroy the reactors. There are quite a number of them. There's also quite a number of oddly placed traps. Just up there is some big health. I believe it's also something that you can so that up there is something you can only get with a certain form. Certain forms will allow you to cling to walls better, stick to them, run faster, dash faster, attack faster.
My gosh, this song slaps.
I know, doesn't it? Alright, you can go ahead and catch up on chat if you'd like.
Alright.
I'm just gonna be playing through the rest of the stage. It doesn't take too awfully long.
Marcin says, imagine a video game, in a video game, a wind so strong gravity turns sideways.
Is
that not a gimmick already? Pretty sure there is.
Mario to the Lost Levels would like a word with you.
One. They want their gimmick back.
I want their gimmick back. As you can see, even the sloped angles, even running with them, it still is difficult to cross.
So was this intended or not? The ice physics.
This was entirely intended.
It sucks.
It really does make it feel slippery though. Eating the dash input's one thing, but then it also has that slidey, slippery motion. It really is as if you were trying to run on ice, and they captured the feeling all right. Thank God it's not like that time I fell on ice and had to leave work early.
Oof.
I was walking to work, and I fell and landed exactly on my spine. And I ended up being late for work, and they counted that against me. And then they sent me home regardless, because the pain was so bad. And I still had to come into work the next day.
What the freak?
I took painkillers. I hated working at Subway.
Oh, well that makes sense.
Yeah. See, we're just gonna... Boom! It's like that, polar bear goes down. We got the ice chip, but we didn't get the EX move there, we just were not high enough rank, so... Yeah, on to the mid stage. Casey, have you ever gonna catch up on the chat?
Oh, sorry. Sylveon said keep dashing, and then they said that that boss was the easiest in 0-2.
I mean, yeah, definitely can be.
That music was really good. I'm sorry, I got really distracted by it. Marcin says they have to go now, and they say bye.
Alright, we'll catch you later. Just gonna overwrite the data here. So... right here is a whole bunch of lore information on this computer. You can learn about the Maverick Wars, everything else that happened in between. So, you can learn about the Maverick Wars, the Cyber Elves, the war for the Elf Wars, all that jazz. With all three elemental chips now in our card, now with our cards, we can we'll be able to tackle pretty much everything in our hands. Once you save, you find that, yeah, they're ready to attack. Because El Piso here, in terms of strategy, thinks, oh, just rushing into the wide-open enemy where they can ambush you is a smart idea. When CL said no, and everybody else who told him said no. So, yeah, El Piso really is a dummy. And even the music is going... yeah, he's kind of turning this army into a personal army and telling CL, well, I mean, we could just attack you. They listen to me now. And Zero's gonna be going out there on behalf of CL to get them to stop, because we don't want to scare the baby elves. We don't want to scare them off, especially when they will do anything and can manipulate human matter to their whim using data. So Elpizo's
Sylveon-
kind of gone rogue. Now you can. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt, but
You're fine. Sylveon Chan says, bro thinks he's 0.
more like guy thinks he's all that, and he's really not.
He thinks he's tough enough.
And right here, we are in the Neo Arcadian base from last game. It's even got the same layout. And as you can see, a whole bunch of Elpizo's guys got wasted. They are all out of it. Ba-bo. So we got these blocks we can push around. All we gotta do for this first little puzzle here. So what we're doing is we're kind of looking for survival. For survivors, but not
I was
all
about to say survival?
survivors. My bad. Like I said, kind of out of it.
You're good.
Oh.
Whoa. You sliced him in half.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and it doesn't look like anybody's making it out. Just like they told him. They told him no, and he did it anyways. So I didn't mention before, but yeah, the Zero games do have blood splatter on some of the enemies. It's not really going to be made a major point or anything, but luckily, thanks to our chain rod, we can just kind of use it to get where we want. These Pantheons are not gonna stop coming. Man, they really did lay waste to a majority of the resistance.
They did.
Yeah, you got all these fighters, and you get rid of all of them.
Well, then again, you're comparing them to an S-Class Hunter.
Well, they should be pretty good at fighting. They've been doing this for over a year. I'm not comparing them to an S-Class Hunter. Zero's not even S-Class anymore.
You know what? You also present a fair point. I'm sorry for my argument.
No, your argument's fine. It's just there is a lot more to consider with this. So we're just gonna jump up here, avoid the fire, have my capture card flash out of existence for a moment, so I have to check it. Yeah, we're still getting footage and audio.
Is it doing what it was doing when we played Mario Galaxy?
Like where it flashes for a couple seconds, like black screen and then back? Yeah.
Yeah, except for with mine, it was also doing data mosh.
Yeah, nope, not data moshing, but we are... I am definitely getting some odd blinking. With that, all three of those guys are down, and we finished the mission of B-Class Supreme Warrior. Casey, if you could catch chat, please, that would be fantastic.
Yep.
Because, yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm watching the gameplay. It's really interesting.
The Guardians took down Elpizo.
Why am I not surprised?
And they're like, really, dude? You thought you could come here and just fight us? Zero shows up and he's like, I wasn't planning on fighting today. I just kind of wanted to show up and talk. But yeah, ahead and catch up real quick, so...
Yep. Sylveon says that it was a fair argument that I said, and then they just posted 2 emojis, and now I'm all caught up.
Alright.
Just a little quiet today.
Yeah, just a little bit. They were pretty rowdy yesterday. I'm gonna have
Why does it feel like every stream I'm on, there's like no activity, but as soon as I leave for one stream, it just all happens?
I don't know. Oh, do you got any questions so far about the game case?
No, not really. I'm just kind of here for the ride and reading as quickly as I can.
Yeah, I am skipping quite a bit of text, but...
Oh, what exactly is a baby elf?
Oh,
or the elves in general?
Okay. So, I went into this last time. Cyber elves are essentially a Reploid's soul. When a Reploid perishes and dies, a cyber elf is released. But only, there is a prerequisite, the Reploid in question has to have lived long enough to be advanced. To have advanced their body enough to create a cyber elf in the first place. Not every Reploid is going to give you a cyber elf.
Interesting.
So, X lived long enough into the future, but somebody like Storm Eagle didn't. And even if they did, the DNA souls that we collected from Mega Man Extreme would have been enough to wipe it out anyways. So essentially, it's a collective of DNA souls that form into the sentient being that it was in life, but as data. But it's so strong that it can stay in the real world and affect things around it. Robot systems, and then the baby elves and the mother elf are so powerful they wiped out the Maverick virus. However, after wiping out the Sigma variant of the Maverick virus and the Lumine variant of the Maverick virus, the elf, the mother elf basically went on to try and create chaos around everything. Like, it wanted to collect as much data on the world as possible, and this included destroying human systems, so like human body parts, essentially changing the minds and wishes of humans without even a second thought.
I see. It's kind of horrifying.
It is. It's a little dark. And that's why instead of it being called the Mother Elf, X called it the Dark Elf that he locked away. Because it was only once it was infected with enough Sigma virus that it went on this rampage. Now, the Mother Elf was also able to create 2 subsequent units called the Baby Elves. They are a twin replica unit that we are going to have to get rid of, because they are powerful enough to essentially grant wishes to whoever it'll listen to. Since the Baby Elves only want the Mother units, it's only going to be they're only going to be willing to listen to the Mother units, or somebody who can promise it the Mother unit. So, El Piso is going to try to use the Baby Elves to essentially start a big problem, start a big war, using the Baby Elves. But we don't want to use the Baby Elves for that. We want to use it to try and create enough of an energy source to find a real solution to the problem of the energy crisis that's going on. So, that's kind of where we're at in terms of plot-wise. It's a rush to find the Baby Elves, and there's a third party that we haven't encountered yet.
Sylvan Chan says, I just noticed that Zero's in McDonald's colors. Red and yellow aren't necessarily McDonald's colors, they just use it. Apparently, for some reason, I learned this back in school. Red and yellow seem to make the human mind hungry for some reason. Not exactly sure on that.
It didn't originally.
It didn't originally.
No. It's McDonald's psychologically messing with people. So our goal is to try to keep CL as safe as possible while she attempts to stop the ballistic missile from going down on Neo Arcadia and the Resistance. And every time she gets hit, that counter her counter slows. So she finished about half of it. Still got a little ways to go. I'm basically going to be soaking up the bullets so they don't hit her. Just like in 0-1, there is some grinding aspects that are removed from the casual difficulty. The casual mode, you know, it's existing. Nope. Says maybe she'll be done shortly, but operator, we're confirmed. The fuse has been released. Preparing to transfer. Transfer commencing. CL's gonna be leaving. 0 is staying on the ship, because they're still going to try to crash the dang thing. Essentially, there's so much turbulence now that, because we didn't just get rid of the fuse on the bomb, we also got rid of the engines!
Huh.
Yeah! And also, this place had supplies for their militia and all sorts of stuff that, you know, we kind of don't want to crash into the base. So we gotta get out of here in time. I'm trying to think about what more to talk about. And out we go.
Me too. I'm trying to also think of things to talk about.
And just like that, we've got another fight here. That red beetle from last time, from the X Tower stages, we now have to fight his brother or friend. I don't remember, and I'm not reading the dialogue, so.
Beat the.
So the parallel here between the characters is Gravity Beetle and the Boomerang Coanger. So
That's fair.
essentially both of them fought in the same battalion. This parallel comes up a lot, like Heracross and Slicer from Pokemon, so it's not just
Pincer?
Yeah, Pincer.
You said Slicer, and I'm like...
Slicer, Pincer.
You either mean Scissor...
Shrug.
You're good.
So Pizzo got angry that his plan didn't work and ran away from the base. And, instead of, wanting to be the Resistance, military leader, he just wants to be strong. He wants to be the hero. Essentially, he's a whiny baby who's mad that Zero overshadowed him. And CL is now our commanding officer. So, we have 4 new missions to bring about. I'll let you pick, Casey. Which one of these? Forest or
Crystal Cave.
Crystal Cave? Crystal
Yep.
Cave. Harpooya it is. We are
I
officially...
hate being so distinct.
I mean, hey, you could have come down here.
Fair.
It's on you. You're gonna have to come down here anyways. I'm having you help me with dinner.
That's fair.
Casey doesn't like helping with dinner. Monotone voice.
No, I've just been feeling really lightheaded as of recently.
Then come get out of your room. Trust me, being up there all day is not helping your lightheadedness, but...
I have to clean it before I leave and pack my stuff.
I know you do.
Because I'm quite the procrastinator, and if I don't do it now, it will never get done.
Well, the air quality probably also isn't much of a help with that.
That's true.
And right up there is another, where one of the other cyber elves are at. But yeah, now we've got a challenge from the Guardians. Since they don't have X to command them, or the copy X at least, they're kind of just doing as they feel fit. So they think challenging Zero to a battle to see who's got the smarter side of things. So, this is going to change between red and blue. That's going to tell us where each of the crystals are at that we can stand on. But you can also shoot it and cause some problems. There was a boss door up there. We could have gone that way. It is a bit of a shortcut. I'm not too worried about getting damaged. I kind of have everything I need to finish the game. So, we're just going to be dashing on through. If anybody in chat has any questions, that'd be...
Sylvia chances I don't understand the logic at all. Harpooya in a few minutes.
Yeah. They're kind of missing a few screws.
The logic of what?
The logic of the Guardians and Harpooya and whatnot.
Ah.
So, these Reploids are being controlled. We don't want to kill them. They were part of our resistance. I just wanted to show you that, yes, you can destroy a few. They are coded as just enemies. But you can just walk on past them, too. They're not that much of a threat. And here's El Piso. And he has been warped by the baby elves, who are looking for the mother. That's not good.
Yeah, it's not good at all.
And Harpooya's here. Well, I don't really need to know. All those inferior resistance behaviors are not all that different. Well, Zero, it's time for you to meet your reps. So, Harpania just kind of wants to fight Zero. He doesn't actually care about the resistance that much. But just like last time. Oh, he got a new move, but that's not going to help him out too much. I really can't wait till we play as him, so it's going to be much more fun when we have the Guardian moves to call upon.
So who are the Guardians?
So I went into this last time, but the Guardians are basically the 4 disciples of X. They were designed to help X near the end of the Cyber War, and then to also keep the peace at Neo Arcadia once X began to take charge. However, while they went under the same moral training as X, it wasn't quite as long, and they still needed some guidance, and that's what X is doing before stopping the Dark Elf. So essentially, they're like, they hold the peace of Neo Arcadia, but they're also each a piece of X. Kind of taking different aspects of it. The combat training, the combat training, the need to heal, and the rage of having to fight battles, the cold calculating side of X, all of that is in each of the 4 Guardians.
That's pretty neat.
Granted, one of them is kind of sort of, but that's neither here nor there.
Dark Mega Man has joined in and they say, "Hey y'all, how are you?"
I'm doing fine. How are you? We're just going to start at the next stage. Casey, which one of the next one? We have Leviathan, Fafnir, and it says Burbel Hecklot, but I think it's Bubble Hecklot.
Leviathan.
Alright. I'm still not entirely sure if we're going to be doing 0-3 tomorrow or the next day. I might need to just take a moment and breathe for a bit, and do some practice. Another track that's really, really good. You can also go off over here, by the way. There would be something in that nook, but already got it. So, we've lost track of Elpisa again. We've lost track of the baby elves. The Guardians are just here slowing us down from the real goal. You know, and we still don't know where the Dark Elf is or X's original body. So, we're running into all sorts of problems. Oh, let's see. Fireworks.
What a crazy enemy.
Yep, the little pooch likes to grapple on. We were calling them floofs yesterday, I believe. Little snowball guys, references to Chill Penguin. Even look kind of similar. Although their throwing arm is a little weak.
Dark Mega Man, you didn't have to retract that message. There wasn't really anything wrong with it.
What did it say?
Metroid Prime.
Oh! I've been hearing rumors that Prime 2 Echoes is coming to Switch soon, and I'm very excited.
We already got Prime, now we're getting Echoes as well?
Yeah, apparently.
Dang.
Nintendo hasn't said anything officially, but I mean, it's coming from the same sources who said we'd get Prime 1 and Dread, so... looking kind of likely.
They continue on to say that been playing Metroid Prime on their Switch.
I need to play my copy. I
haven't.
I still haven't. I've been busy, Casey. I don't always have time to just sit and play video games.
Same.
You know, I can't really get on to me. I might be at the house all the time, but I'm still busy. I'm still doing stuff.
I know you are. It's just I thought you might have at least played like a bit of it, not like nothing at all.
No, Truman booted it up. He played a little bit of the opening and then he put it down. And I haven't been back to actually play it because I've been a bit busy.
And sick.
Busy, sick, exhausted, and
All that.
all that. All the fun things, right, chat? Right.
Sylveon Chan says this Chill Penguin stage looks a bit different than I remember.
Well, it's not exactly. It's not Chill Penguin's stage. I said it's that enemy is like the ones found in Chill Penguin's level. The ones that toss the snowballs down the hill.
Quit taking things out of context.
Ah, oh boy. Oh, out we go. It turns out Pizzo was here, and then he went and did something else, but Leviathan didn't stop him. Of course not. And Zero's like, gosh darn it. So we gained no information. Other than he was here.
No, he's not.
No, he's not. We didn't really gain a whole lot of information there, so. We got
According to Sylveon
Fefnir or the Frog.
somebody said Frog earlier.
Alright, Frog it is.
According to Sylveon Chan, everyone has got the hots for Zero in this game.
I mean, if you... In what way? Because Leviathan doesn't seem to care that much about Zero. She just wants him safe. CL kinda likes him, but not enough to date him.
More like friends.
More like really close friends. I don't know. I mean, El Pizzo, maybe, but he's crazy, so...
I don't know where you draw these conclusions from, Sylveon Chan. You infinitely confuse me.
So, we're back in this level.
Darkman says the Leviathan looks a lot like Splash Woman.
That is not a unfounded thing. So, Inti Creates, who made the Zero games, also made Mega Man 9 and Mega Man 10. So, to go along with that, they ended up throwing in some designs based on the games they worked on prior, which was ZX and Zero, and that's how we have Tornado Man, Splash Woman, and Magma Man's color scheme, at least. We didn't really get an anagram for, or like a counterpart for Phantom or anything, but...
Sylveon Chan says that Leviathan's dialogue was kind of sus. But
yeah,
okay.
but all of the Guardians are kind of suspicious in their own right. They're all acting on different instincts, and they're not working together as a team as much as they all have...
X would like.
Yeah, you know, X would probably want them all to work alongside Zero to find a peaceful solution. Not fight constantly. And it's clear
X
that...
was too wholesome for this world, to be honest.
You know, Fafnir doesn't care who he fights. Phantom just wanted to destroy Zero for the sake of Neo Arcadia. In a sort of uncaring fashion. To protect Copy X. And... Harpuya just wants to fight Zero, and Leviathan doesn't seem to care one way or another. So, for as suspicious as you may find it, it seems that they don't care that much or that heavily about anything in particular. Other than, you know, what exactly is... Other than fighting Zero and keeping the Neo Arcadians safe, they really don't care about anything else. Which makes sense, because, I mean, we destroyed X, and X was kind of the only thing they liked, so...
Sylvain Chen says X is acting like their true dad most of the time. He's always absent and gives vague advices, and he's dead.
Well, he wasn't always absent. As has been revealed in a couple of different sources, the X really did get quite a bit of time fighting alongside them during the Elf Wars. It was them, Zero, before Zero decided to seal himself, and Axel. So we cut up with the El Piso, and he's like, I'm gonna slow you down. Yeah, even Arpuya is like, oh, yeah, we should probably send somebody to the base to try and stop El Piso. It might not reflect good on the Neo-Arcadians to, you know, have their entire place destroyed for no reason. So, what we have to do here is destroy these little worms before he eats them. The different colored one will actually, I believe, heal him and power him up more than the green ones do. And the larger he is, the more likely the bug is going to drop closer to him, so...
Dang.
Just like that. One down. On to the next. It is a more interesting fight than Toadman, I'll give you that much, Sylveon. X was here, trying to hold back the baby elves. However, it didn't free El Piso, and El Piso's all for the plan, and X wasn't strong enough to stop him. Not ready to deal with them. Yeah, X is... He's like, hey, as long as I'm at the main body, we should be safe, but this isn't good. You're gonna have to get to the base before he does something to the body to free the Dark Elf. And as long as the elf needs to be held back by him, he's not gonna be ready to fight anything. So, this isn't looking good for X now, is it?
Not one bit. Sylveon Chan says, imagine getting bullied by 2 cyber elves.
I think what you're trying to say there is imagine getting bullied by something that can legitimately warp your mind and, like, alter reality using cyberspace. You know, it's a little bit harsher than just some kids. Just because they're called baby elves doesn't mean that they're weak. It just means they're the offspring of the mother elf. Heck if I know. Anyways. We're back in the base here, and Fafnir found his way downward.
Oh no.
Yep. Another piece of music that's really good, too.
I had a question earlier that I forgot to ask.
Yeah, what's up?
So, we see what happens to X. In the ZX games, is it ever explained what happens to Axel afterwards, or anything referencing him?
Yes, we do. We get a little hint at what happened with Axel. We don't get a full explanation, but we know that his ability of A-Trans lives on, and we know that Axel's parts was used to create the Model W.
Ooh, sounds fancy.
So essentially, next-generation Reploids, like Axel, specifically Axel himself, may not have lived up to be a body of Sigma, but he lived up to try and stop the evil of a corporate dictator. But we'll get to capitalism the problem when we play ZX.
Vega?
No, I said capitalism the problem.
You said dictator.
Well, most people would know that as M. Bison, but...
Right.
And I said capitalist dictator. You know,
Listen,
kind
I
of
heard-
like what we live under right now.
I heard dictator. That's all I heard.
So then, did you want me to answer your question honestly, or not?
Huh? Well, yeah, I did, because I was kind of curious as well.
But then you heard dictator, and you got lost?
No, never mind.
I'm confused.
No, about Axel, yes, and then I cracked a joke because you said dictator. But I fully understand what you mean, though.
Yeah, a company is basically going to rise up and take power from the people and put it into their own hands and pockets, and it's going to distract everybody from the actual problem of a leader of a set of 3 guys who are ruling over Neo Arcadia in about 200 years' time from this game, so we'll get to ZX later.
Empathetic Apathy says hello.
Hi, welcome. And here we have the Fafnir battle. We're gonna want to switch to electric.
More like that far.
Fafnir's got a lot of heavy cannons.
I assume he represents the artillery side of X.
He's a warlike. He just wants to fight.
Oh, okay then.
He just is itching for an argument at all times. Kind of the less reasonable side of things. For as much as they represent, they do have their own personalities, so you can't just look at them all and say, well, they're all X, but they're really not. They do have their own goals and stripes at the end of the day. Just because they all have the possibility of turning out to be like X doesn't mean that they are. So. Alright. Yes, welcome, Empathetic. We're about an hour and a half in, so I'd like to say, if you guys haven't yet, please drop a like and subscribe, because we are trying to get to 1,000 subs, and we are oh so close to 750, so...
You got this.
Getting there. El Piso has contacted the base. Guess where I am, Mr. Zero? Surprise, surprise, I'm in the deepest core of Neo Arcadia. I'm in the room where the Dark Elf is resting. This is where even the high executives are prohibited to enter. First, I'll awaken the Dark Elf. Next, I'll destroy the original X. Then, I will be able to obtain the true power of the Dark Elf. I'm going to gain the ultimate power. Yes.
He would be the type to sing instead of being serious about it.
Of course. Like, he's insane at this point. He looked into the camera with that fisheye lens. Just to tell us, hey, guess where I'm at?
Wait, that was the fisheye lens of El Pisa?
Yeah.
Oh, I could not tell.
There's a
I thought
fisheye
that was
lens
like
with
a...
his eye all crazy and stuff.
That's kind of funny. Karmic stops in and they say, "How is the stream going?"
It's going alright, but X is about to die. Or at least a part of X. They call her a dark elf. She is not fully awake yet. With my remaining power, I'm still trying not to wake her up. Please, Zero, come to Neo Arcadia, and please stop him, Zero. Oh, boy. Well, we're gonna do our best.
Is it bad that when I see X on screen while he's talking to Zero in that form, I just, in the back of my head, I can just hear the Dr. Light song from the capsules?
Well, believe it or not, X's theme there is a remix of the initial capsule theme from X1.
Interesting.
It's a slower lullaby-style remix. As if he's trying to rest. Rest, because if he doesn't, the Mother Elf might wake up. But the Mother Elf's kind of got one eye open and cocked her head sideways, so... Here it is. We're at the base of Neo Arcadia's core, and we gotta get deep. We can't go as far in as we want, but our only mission now is get to El Piso before he does something stupid. Even the Four Guardians are kind of like, I'm not sure about that El Piso guy at this point, so...
He's mean. Ban him.
He's weird. He's weird. He's weird. He's looking cockeyed at everybody, you know.
Let's not ban him.
Yeah, exactly. Except he's got the power to do stuff because he's got the baby elves. He did exactly what the baby elves wanted. Even though we needed them to help analyze and find a new power source. But hey, you know. Who wants to stop the G word I can't say on stream?
Huh?
Alright, and now here's the final time we will be fighting a devil. This is the Rainbow Devil. We fought him in the last game. He's got a few new moves here. But he's still not that difficult.
He's jiggly.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay, this devil looks really cool. I'm liking his attacks.
Oh, it's a fun devil to fight, but he does hit like a truck.
So, which devil is, well, actually, I never asked you, what is your devil tier list, or, like, your list of strongest devils?
I don't have one, but this would probably be the strongest devil out of all of them in terms of power scaling. At least lore-wise, but,
Okay, which, according to you, is the weakest devil?
probably the initial, green devil, probably.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to ask, like, good questions.
It's a good question, but the green devil from Mega Man and Base, he can't move, he's stuck in one place, and his attacks are really weak. Alright, we're just gonna try and go to the next stage of Neo Arcadia. We basically place down a point, we're moving to the next one.
Sylvian says, but can he turn into Wily Machine 6?
No, he can't. I don't think he really needs to overwhelm the player, especially if you're playing these on the original Game Boy and without the, or, you know, just playing without the casual mode stuff. Alright, so the thing about these tellies that I hadn't mentioned before is that you can launch them around all over the place. So all you gotta do is knock them into the slightly broken platforms. Buster shots will make them go straight. The saber will move them in slightly unpredictable ways. But it's still not that hard to actually predict. Just like that, we're through with that section. You can tell they've definitely upped their defenses from last time. But yeah, you can kind of make the Saber do like a... You can kind of make the Saber do a sort of slam dunk style move with these tellies. The best way to think about it is... One way... Busters for straight forward in either direction. The Sabers for straight down. And... Upward Saber moves also exist. If you need to launch them upward. But just note where you're at. Just note where they're at, where you're at, and do your best. Because this can be a bit of a tricky situation to find yourself in. Even if it's not the most creative situation to find yourself in. The gameplay here, though, is definitely much more refined than 0-1. Even if I don't like the fact that you need the S rank to get the EX skills and the forms and stuff. I believe the most amount of forms that I've actually done in a playthrough is like 8. I got 8 forms and like 9 EX skills. That was back on, I believe, the DS. And I reset every single level until I had it perfect.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I had to reload a lot of saves. I am not doing that again. Not worth it, especially because 0-3 is going to drop all the level grinding stuff. It keeps the EX moves and whatnot, but it ties them more to just general playstyle, and you really don't need it regardless. But yeah.
This reminds me of that one level in X7, I believe? No, 8.
And here is Fafnir's final form here. I do actually really like this tank. We're gonna find out that all of the Guardians had forms that they didn't use from last game, which is a shame because we never see Phantoms. I probably should equip. Electric. So we talked last time about why this didn't set the new standard for platformers. But I think this time I should ask, why can't this now set the standard for new platformers? And I don't think there really is any reason why it shouldn't. I mean, it's on a home console. Yeah, it doesn't use every button on the controller, but this is still top-notch level design and really good gameplay. So I think, honestly, if more people would play the 0ZX Legacy Collection, we might have a new standard for grading the way platformers play. Especially 2D running guns. Alright. We're gonna return to the base, heal up, and then get on to the next level, shall we?
Sounds good.
Anybody in chat? How's chat holding up? This is about where we came to the ending of the first game, like when we were going to fight Copy X. So, last time it took us about an hour 42 to just finish the game. Now we're at an hour 42, and we're about halfway through the end game.
I'm just surprised how quick we got through all this.
The game is fast. The game is built with speedrunning in mind, and when they did this when they did the Legacy Collection here, they added the Z Chaser mode that I showed off last time, and I'm going to be showing it off at the end of today's stream as well. Essentially, the Z Chaser mode is speed running and multiplayer.
Ooh.
It's about racing to the end as fast as possible. You get ranked on how fast you can beat it, if you can beat it faster than the devs. The devs, believe it or not, there's a bit of a story to it. The devs sat and played these games until they got good.
Wow.
It was apparently a lot of fun around the office, and they did something similar with the when testing the multiplayer for Battle Network Legacy as well. And they had a ton of fun working on these collections.
That's a really good thing, especially if this is your job, if you have fun while doing it.
Oh yeah, and they had fun just testing and fiddling around and learning new things, learning glitches from the community. It's amazing how much the devs at Capcom actually do listen to the Mega Man community, which is why I think it's very important for us as a community to stay positive about this series. If not for our own sanity, for the sake of the developers who are stuck working on the games.
Yeah. That's true.
I mentioned it yesterday as a very important point. I think going into 02, it's just as important. Now I didn't really find much discussion about this game when I look. Everybody seems to skip right over this one and go straight to 03, which is fair. 03 is a little bit longer. So
That's fair.
but yeah.
Then again, they're not playing with an easier mode, they're playing the original.
Well, even nowadays, I don't hear many people talk about 02. They talk about 01 being rough around the edges. A lot of people say, yeah, 02's better, and then they skip straight to 03 and gush about it, and they're like, 04 is hard to pin down. A lot of the community is very different. So you might have noticed the tank form and this form right here for Leviathan. The Guardians eventually also end up becoming biometals later on in ZX. And each of these forms that we're fighting here become their own individual bosses, which we'll cover when we get there. Oh, my screen flashed again. Alright. One more down.
Chrono Force, leg anchor looking. No.
Yeah.
I have no idea what they're referring to.
You'll find out in ZX.
Okay.
There is a boss called Chrono, and it uses part of Leviathan to exist. Part of the Leviathan biometal to exist. And it looks kind of like that. I actually find the Pseudoroids in ZX to look a lot nicer than the Mavericks found here in Zero. But
That's fair.
That's just me. I prefer... I just honestly prefer ZX when it comes to these games, which is a little odd, because I know a lot of people are like, but 03 is the best, but I'm like, is it though?
Ooh, he's hating on ZX.
No, ooh, I'm preferring ZX.
Or, sorry, not ZX, Z.
I definitely do not...
My brain is also fried as well.
Probably shouldn't be fried. Oh boy. So we're just gonna make it up through here. We're just gonna keep getting rid of these little barriers. Ice is recommended. Right up here is where we need to go. So at this point, you might have forgotten the fact that El Piso is in the core, and that you've got to hurry to get there before he can. In my honest opinion, I think it's kind of a fool's errand at this point, if we're going to get him or not. It's clear that he is so far in here that it's... like, he already beat us here. But, yeah. We basically want to stop another elf war from happening. Because the elf war ended up with one person being exiled. One, an energy crisis happening, the death of X, or the death of X in the eyes of the humans. Because I should state, the people of Neo Arcadia know that there's a resistance, they know that it's full of Reploids, and they're getting kind of tired of it. And that's why I kind of like 04 a lot, is just because we see the humans side of things. We see how they're feeling about all this endless conflict. And I think that's an important matter to take into effect, because we worry what the robots think, right? Like, all the time. I'm always like, oh, and then this Robot Master has this personality, and they act like this around Mega Man, and I talked about the Reploids and how they were constantly fighting against Sigma. And then it was just kind of a footnote that the human population has been dwindling ever since X5. And I haven't really mentioned the fact that, yeah, they're getting kind of tired of it. So...
Dark Mega Man says, I see that Zero is using a gun now. What happened to his Buster?
All weapons were disabled. I explained this last time at the start of at the start of 01. All weapons were disabled for Zero for research purposes, so they could find a solution to the Maverick virus. Because they didn't want him breaking out and going rogue. And the Dark Elf is activated. And Harpuya is kind of powerless to stop it, so he might as well just bow down. And now all he has to do is destroy X, so it's getting worse. And they got Harpuya. Right back to bed. Time to wake the Dark Elf up. Let's celebrate the new history of the world. Essentially, El Piso just wants to rule. He thinks he's going to be all-powerful with the elves by his side, but that's definitely not going to happen. Harpuya, who doesn't even really want to fight us at this point, is being forced to. And this is his form. So yeah, the elves are what's changing them, by the way. So if you're wondering, oh, well, why don't they just change back? They physically cannot. Kind of an impossibility for them. I like that you can hear Harpuya screaming out for death all the while. He's trying to hold back himself from fighting you, but he can't. It's rather interesting. It's an interesting way to see it.
Sylveon-chan says Yameru.
I have no idea why you keep saying that. They said that a whole bunch last time. With the baby elves, with you being well enough distracted, Harpuya being brought down, He leaves for repairs. The baby elves go back to the mother elf, and Zero has to go forward. That's what Arpuya says. Okay, well, you've had me confused for the past, like, episode and a half. I think that's just gonna keep happening. Yeah. And now we're on to the final level. Get to Apisa before he destroys X's original body. And wakes up all heck. This game, at this point in the story, if we were to take this as the ending, by the way, remix here is amazing, and it's clear this is the same team behind Blaster Master Zero. Just sounds so good. Yeah, no. If, at this point in the story, with this being the ending, and us coming to the tower here, it's becoming worse. You know, it's all coming to a head, but it doesn't feel like an ending. It doesn't feel like this is truly where the game ends. It feels like if he destroys X's body, we're gonna have to go hunt for the Dark Elf. And 03 picks up right where this game left off. So, I've got 3 capsules here. Left, right, or up? Casey, you pick first.
Let's go right.
Chat can pick the next capsule. It'll be up or left. And first on our docket is, of course, the Phoenix.
I am so sorry.
It's fine, because I'm B ranked now, so I actually don't have to worry too awfully much. And he grabbed me. How's chat holding up? Anybody got anything interesting talking about, or?
Empathetic Apathy. He says, that sort of reminds me of that crazy Kirby boss.
The Dark Matter or the Zero Eye? Well, as I'm just kind of going through here, I'm kind of just acting on instinct at this point.
Well, isn't that really the true way of the hunter?
No.
Fair point.
They're cold calculating and try their best. They don't act on instinct. It's not in their instinct to kill. The heck, Casey? Just because there's fighting doesn't mean they're not pessimists. Or pacifists. Oh, I think I understand now why half the Mega Man community is pessimistic. They don't understand the word pacifism.
Wow. Jeez, thanks, Gavin. I feel 100 times better.
Up or left?
Didn't... Oh, yeah.
Chat never said anything, even though I said they could pick. So, your choice, Casey.
Alright, up.
You guys are gonna have another choice, I believe, in just a little bit too, so get ready with your choices. Alright, we got
Leon also set up roll.
Alright. Just gonna try my best to stand in between the orbs. And down he goes. So Casey, how do you feel about this game so far?
I'm loving it.
You've been really quiet today.
Because I'm focusing on the game. This game is interesting. You said this one is more lore heavy than X?
Yeah, I've been talking about lore this entire time. The Mother Elf, the Baby Elf, Cyber Wars, Zero being locked away. All of it is lore, and all of it is stuff that we're dealing with in the game.
Yeah, it's
Some of
really...
it presents itself in dialogue, others in backgrounds and the way the characters act. It's just kind of a good way to handle a Mega Man story.
Yeah.
Alright, up we go. Do you guys want to see the Z Chaser mode again, or should should I just skip it this time? I showed it off last time, but
Then again, I could just check the past stream for the Z Chaser mode.
you could. Alright. Chat said up, so we're going up. I'll let them pick the next one as well. But yeah, no, the platforms here move in the same way the trains did. Nice little attention to detail, but they don't have that cool, like, repeating background style thing that was going on last time. We got the Thunder Chip from him, so I believe it's Ice. Is the weakness. Down goes the Panther. Left or right, chat? Bottom right. It's the only right. Only got 3 capsules.
No, full right. Let's skip them.
Yeah, full right. Turn around. Go away. We'll just let El Piso win.
I'm gonna turn this 0 around if you don't stop, chat.
Stop what? Stop not talking?
Yeah.
Because today really has been a lot of...
Zeke says up left.
There's also, I believe, the Zero game with the least amount of Mavericks as far as things go, because if you count the 4 Guardians as their own separate thing, we're kind of left with just these 6. Now this fight's a little different, because the red guy comes back.
Sylveon says talks aggressively.
So I'd love to have the Spin Slash for this. Sadly, that was preserved for an EX move for the Saber. Which I think is a shame, because it's a really fun move to have.
Do you not have it, or?
I don't have it. Unlike last game where it was part of the level up tree, if you didn't notice, they actually removed some of the stars for leveling up stuff. That was to put more of an emphasis on the EX moves. So, like, this upwards attack that I have. Gonna go ahead and use a sub-tank there. They mistimed, bonked themselves, and just like that, boss is over. So, who's excited to see the ending of this game? You can tell by the energy of the chat that, like, I chose either a bad time to stream, or maybe I'm just exhausted.
Maybe everyone was expecting you to stream earlier in the day. Those who would have appeared didn't because they thought you just took the day off.
Yeah, well, I can't help.
Well, hey, I'm excited.
I can't help being exhausted, so I needed the sleep. I legitimately slept all morning. Like I woke up for a brief moment when Truman left for work, and that was it. And here's the original body of X. You get to see what it looks like on the front-facing view. And in that orb is the Dark Owl's true form. Oh, Pizzo puts a stop to us. And here he goes. X is gone. All that is left of him is the Cyber Elf form. And the Mother Elf is whole again. However, she's still not cleansed of all of the corrupt data, so still the Dark Elf. So I did mention there was a third party influencing the baby elves. He'll come in the next game, but essentially he was the cause of all of this. And if you notice, the baby elves are very happy to have the mother back. And as payment for Alpizo for helping, they get absorbed into the hive mind. Because that is what the Mother Elf is causing.
Sylvian Chan says, suck it, Vile. Some rando killed X before you did.
Yep. I got nothing. Terminate you, destroy all in Neo Arcadia, and then exterminate all the human beings. What do you say? A world without humans. The world only for Reploids. Don't you think it will be a paradise? There you go. Alpizo wants genocide in the opposite direction. So, instead of destroying all of the Reploids for the sake of the humans, destroy all the humans for the sake of the Reploids. Now, of course, this is the Mother Elf talking. And it's very clear that the Mother Elf has taken a liking to the Sigma virus. Seeing as it's talking through Alpizo about destroying the humans.
I was gonna say, didn't Sigma have a similar goal?
He wants more strength. And the wish has been granted. Alpizo screams out in pain. This form is clearly very painful for him to be in.
Here's Zenny and they say meowdy.
Hey, Zen. You've made it back just in time for the final fight here. Unlike the last game, I find this fight to be pretty easy. But take note of the color palette and everything, because it's going to be very important going forward. These colors are going to be the colors of death. The blue, the red, and the black. When they're all paired together like this, with some accents of white, you'll find out that later on in the series, it is pretty much signals of the end time. I like how the later games in the series use color theory to its advantage. But just like that, you've taken down El Piso and weakened the Mother Elf. Or weakened the Dark Elf, as it's known. With an ending of B class Elf Breeder. We got the proto form. So. El Piso finally broke free. Thanks us for stopping him. But yeah, El Piso finally learned to accept his faults at the end of his life and wants to tell CL that he's sorry. The Dark Elf comes back to the Mother Elf for just a moment, and the babies are frightened off by this. As the Mother Elf absorbs El Piso, turning him into a Cyber Elf. And El Piso gets to live on to see the rest of this war carry out as she turns back to the Dark Elf. The Dark Elf seems to know Zero, or at least the Mother Elf does. We're not going to be able to catch her here. Even touching her would cause, you know, mind-altering properties. So you gotta think of another way to stop the Dark Elf before it starts assimilating humans. And X doesn't have a body to return to, so... She had a mission to save the world, not another name. However, when her ability became a threat of the world's destruction, they began to call her the Dark Elf, since someone called Dr. Weil placed a curse on her. So... Zero seems to know the Dark Elf. And with Dr. Weil now freely able to re-enter the city of Neo Arcadia, he's gonna attempt to fill a power vacuum. By the way, the humans of Neo Arcadia do not know that X is dead. They didn't know that Copy X was defeated. They didn't know Copy X was a copy.
I forgot about that fact.
And they're not gonna find out until the next game. As we have this lovely remix of the Departure theme of Zero's theme. There are lyrics to go along with it, although I can't play it here. You want to catch up on chat, Case, while we finish up the game here?
Yeah. Zenny asks how I'm doing. I think I'm doing pretty good. Elf Breeder? Yeah, I don't understand what it meant by that either.
You can fuse elves together to get more powerful effects out of them.
I see.
Yeah, I didn't go into the elf mechanics because they lower your rank and because I really didn't need to use them. We're really not going to be using them throughout the whole series. The mechanics of it are super cool, but yeah, 04 has a much better mechanic that allows you to essentially create armor parts for Zero. Instead of using elves that reduce your rank, you can use the armor parts to up your power without reducing rank. Sylvian says, can you see the light? Yeah, that's the song.
Sure wish we had a spare body to trap the Dark Elf in.
Well, we technically do, but not until next game.
Then he goes, oh man, the end?
The end already. Yep. You missed out on the game. I'm debating between doing 03 tomorrow or doing it next week. I think I'm going to put it off till next week, just so I can attempt to feel a little better.
It would be better to put it off till next week so you can recuperate.
Especially with how long I slept today. But yeah, the Zero games really are a testament of game design, and really does show that Inti Creates knew what they wanted to do with the Mega Man series. And going into Zero 3, it felt like this was coming. All of this was boiling to an end. If Zero 1 had a kind of definitive conclusion of hope, Zero 2 puts a new light and says, there is hope here, but now the threat has a name, and you're going to be able to take it down. Like, you know who you're looking for. But, yeah, Zero 3 will be next time. 03 and 04 will always tie for first place in my eyes with how good they are. 02's good. It's better than 01, but it's also, I feel, a little shorter than 01, especially if you get really, really good at it. Honestly, worth a check out regardless, just for the story alone. I encourage you to explore the base more. Check out the guys. Talk to them. Get side quests. And, yeah. That was 02. Ah.
Good game.
Time for you to take action, Omega. There's your only little sneak preview at Dr. Weil. Now, the game says we beat it in about an hour. My timescale says we took 2 hours and 15 minutes, though, so. Yeah. So, 02. Casey, what did you think of 02?
I like it for the fifth time.
It's definitely a pretty good game.
It is a really good game.
I'm looking forward to showing off all this stuff, because there were other forms that I didn't show off. Green, orange, purple. What were you saying? Sorry.
What's the difference between Z and ZX?
So, 0 takes place in 22XX. The Cyber Elf, the Elf Wars has just ended. Cyber Elves are a big part of life. The humans' fate is pretty much unknown. ZX takes place at a time where there's mostly peace. You're 200 years from that. It's 24XX. ZX takes place with different heroes for each game, and continues the story showing that X and 0 didn't really get to the elves get to properly rest, but the powers don't get the rest that they hold, so Axel comes back in Advent, and we get to learn what his fate was, and we get to see what happens after. Like, is there a Maverick Hunter still? Are Maverick Hunter still needed at the end of 0? Are humans safe? What becomes of the Reploid cause now that the genocide is over? All of this is explored and understood in ZX, and it'll take us 2 more games before we get there. But yeah, definitely pick up this collection if you're looking to give it a shot. But that's all from me. That was 02. I enjoyed my time here, although I've been a bit scatterbrained. I hope to see you guys next time, whenever next time is. It'll either be tomorrow or next week. You can follow me on Twitter at GavinDragonYT. Whatever comes of it, it'll be posted there. It'll also be posted in the Discord down in the description below. If you guys want to see artwork that I've done besides from the stuff on the stream, check out the Telegram art down in the description as well. You can donate to the PayPal link on your screen or in the description below if you really want to go that extra mile of helping. But all I ask is for you guys to subscribe, drop a like, and maybe click the videos once YouTube gets done processing the stream. But I've been your humble host, everybody. Good night, everyone.